all the way through. So what I found was in Hippocrates was that food was medicine. We see here the actual leukocyte going after the cancer cells. So food was medicine, and that's what they teach you. An amazing, amazing place. Many of you here have been to Hippocrates, and I think it's only when you actually go there that you will actually see the amazing work they do to help people heal themselves. So it's not them that heals you, it's you that heals yourself. But that all starts up in your head first. You have to get your head around this, and believe you me, it's one thing, it's easy to do the food. If I can do that, you can do it. I'm nothing. And if I can do it, you can do it. But getting your head around it is sometimes hard. And we are creatures of habit, we human beings, and sometimes we need to have a wake-up call in order to get on with things. So I encourage you, don't wait for the wake-up call. Get on with it now, do it before anything happens to you, and so much information for you to take in here today. I want to now welcome the man and woman behind Hippocrates, and we are honoured to have Dr. Brian and his gifted wife, Anne-Marie, here with us today.
To be here, and you know we love Ireland. When we fly in here, Brian says, "Now I'm coming to my people." So, you know, I'm from Sweden, and I ran a clinic in Sweden since I was 18, and it's really so simple what we're doing that it's ridiculous. It is so simple, and it's really going back to our intuition of what we really should be eating. And I think we know when we go into McDonald's that this is fun food, this is not real food, right? And we know that we're going to pay for it sooner or later. And we know when we eat sugar that it's fun food and we're going to pay for it too, sooner or later. So what we do, we take away all that. And we leave the foods that are from nature. We leave the foods that you probably were brought up on from the earth. You know, when you look at this picture, it's taken by Swedish medical photographer Bernadette Nielsen. And here you can see that it's your own immune system that's going to kill any infection, any cancer, any arthritis, diabetes, you name it. If you look at stem cells, which you make from your bone marrow, and you make your red blood cells, your white blood cells from these stem cells, and you get what you need for the time. If I have a flu, I make certain kinds of white blood cells to kill, make antibodies, and kill it and be done. We're supposed to be able to take care of any infection. Any infection is supposed to leave our body in 3-4 days, because we make antibodies. So when you look at stem cells that are cancer stem cells, there is no allopathic method that will kill them. It's only your immune system. So how do you get your immune system to work to kill cancer stem cells? Because we all have them. They found that most of us actually have cancer stem cells in our body 6 times in a lifetime. So how do we kill them? We have to have a system that is accurate, that is ready for it. That's like, okay, no chance here. And when you're around people that have colds or flus, why don't you get them? How many times have you not got it? Because your immune system was so much better. And you exercised and you took care. So to see that your own immune system is the only way, really. No antibiotic will do what your immune system can do. No vaccination can do what your immune system can do. That just makes you feel so rich that you can fight any infection. But this immune system is not working on air alone. It's working on all the nourishment that it should have had. And it should have had in the raw form, in the fresh form. So, you know, like Brian will tell you, if you cook something, you might as well inhale all the goodies that comes out of the food, because that's the oxygen is gone. Most minerals, vitamins are gone at that time. So, it's very simple. When you're eating raw, and the more you're eating raw and drinking juices, like we just had a shot of wheatgrass, that wheatgrass just 2 ounces is 5 pounds of food. How fast food do you want? So you get so amazing of nourishment, protein, complete protein, vitamins, minerals. Vitamin C never looked so green. So it's a great food to start with. And like Bernadette said, we have habits. We definitely have habits. This is what you were brought up with, the foods that you're probably eating still. But what if we can explain to you through 60 years of doing this, if we can explain to you, if we change a few things in your lifestyle, and you can have an amazing life and not have to worry about diseases and prevent diseases, why wouldn't you? So welcome in the journey.
Now we have to endure the not-so-smart Clements. How are you doing, Ireland?
Great.
You don't sound very well.
Yes.
Even the English sounded better than you yesterday, so come on. How the hell are you doing, Ireland?
Great.
The weather didn't let me down. It was pissing on me right down. It's amazing. No wonder we're the strongest people in the world, because if you put up with this weather, you can put up with anything. There's no question about it. Last weekend at this time, Dr. Anna Marie and I had the privilege to invite the top research scientists from all over the world, South America, Europe, North America, to have a summit. And these are all legitimate scientists, not telling you to take drugs that kill and maim you, but scientists that know what we're going to discuss today. That every disease, including cancer, is a metabolic disease, not a genetic disease. That's insanity. And why it is accepted insanity is because the pharmaceutical industries precipitate that insanity. It's a very, very easy way for me to intimidate a person to do whatever I want to do, even if it's not rational. Not a rational person I know would get into a box if you knew it was radioactive. Why? Because you get cancer. If I got into a radioactive box, I'd get cancer. Is that not so? Who would like to disagree with that? Raise your hand. Then why the hell, when you have cancer, do you get in a box of radiation? Again, who would like to debate that issue with me? And sadly, we have created a world of deception. And profiteering seems to be much more important than human life today. And even if things seem to be insane, when you just give it a brief moment to think about it, a brief moment. If you don't like yourself enough, you proceed and do the insane. Now, every person I've worked with in the 42 years that I've done my work that got well, and that's tens of thousands of people. Not 10 people, not 100 people, not 1,000 people, tens of thousands. They interviewed me for a European paper recently and said, how many people have you worked with directly that you saw reverse either stage 4 or stage 3 cancer? It was 40,000 people just with that. And easy things like heart disease and rheumatoid arthritis and diabetes type 2, they're nonsensical, these diseases. But again, if you're not thinking rationally with that good common sense that God gave you at birth, you somehow think there's magic in this process. You don't have to participate in your own healing. You don't have to participate in your own life. You can run around like a wild creature doing stupid things and get yourself sick and then go to somebody else who's going to make you better. Well, that's magic, people. That's not real, that's not true, and you know it's real, not real and true. Deep down in your soul, in your heart, you know that's not real and true. But why do we waste a moment on that kind of fantasy? Again, because we loathe our life. Because somehow we're not willing to participate in our own well-being. And if you're not willing to participate in your own well-being, why the hell would God not take you off the planet Earth? The greatest gift you ever got in your life was your life, the human life. It is an extraordinary gift, and a lot of people in this room today know that because you were told you may die. And usually it takes for us to get to the point of being told you may die before we say, oh my God. What a gift life is. And if you understand that, if you become conscious and start to employ the God-given sense of self-respect, all of this works together. So, matter of fact, in that meeting last week, we discussed with the top biological scientists on the planet Earth that the most important aspect is how you feel about yourself. Now, these were not average people. These were the most renowned research scientists on Earth today, and they all agreed it's your attitude that's most important. What I did intentionally, we picked up the phone and we called the people just in our neighborhood, 5 to 10 minutes from the Institute. There were about 30 of them who had all reversed major catastrophic disease. And we got more than half of them to agree, and we picked 8 of them out of that. And they got up and spoke about how they healed. And the first couple we got up, I'm in love with this couple, and when I grow up I want to be like them. He's 88 and she's 87. And when they came to us at Hippocrates nearly 20 years ago, I could see they were in as much love as I am with my wife Anna Maria, as Bernadette is with her husband. When you have that love, it's extraordinary. And I just hope you all share that love in your life. And they told me the story. They said, you know, we were exercising. At that point, they were in their 70s. And the back of Alice's knee hurt, so they thought, oh, they pulled a muscle. And they went over to the doctor, and the doctor said, oh, you have to go to an oncologist, and they didn't know what an oncologist was. And they went over to the oncologist, and the oncologist said, oh my God, this is a very rare form of cancer, and if we cut your leg off, you can live 6 months. We don't cut it off, you're going to die like next week. And they thought it was a pulled muscle. Can you imagine this? Well, some of you in this room can imagine this. And they went home, and these are the 2 sanest people I ever met in my life. And they contemplated, if you're going to die, Alice, I, C.S., may want to die with you. I don't want to be alive. And they chose not to cut their leg off, but came to Hippocrates in a wheelchair, and 3 weeks later she was dancing. And now at 88 and 87 years old, you know what they do for a hobby? They teach dancing 3 times a week to what they call the youngsters in their 70s and 60s. Now what makes the difference between a CS and Alice and you? Self-respect. And you'd like me to tell you there's something other than that, but I'm never going to lie to you. That's it. Every person I've seen get well. As hard as it is, because I had to do it myself. Learn to get that self-respect. And you know, you've been pulling so many crazy things off your entire life, no wonder you don't respect or honor or care for yourself that much. Most of you have been here in our country of Ireland hiding behind a pint of beer when you're not happy. Or overeating sugar. No difference. My mother never took a drink in her life. And for our people, that's miraculous. Never even touched in her life. Because she saw her uncles. And she saw people she knew die. And by the way, destroy families in the process. But my mother was drinking. You know how she drank? It was called donuts. And sugar on top of bread. You remember they used to make breads and put cinnamon, and the bread was this thick, the sugar was that high on top. Donuts. And so she was giggling a lot. I said, well, why are you giggling? You didn't drink. Well, a donut can do that to you too. And a lot of you are doing the donut stuff, so it's miraculous you're not drinking what you are anyway, because if you put sugar and you put grains together, they become what? And they don't take months or years to ferment, so we look at, oh, look at that, it's 1783. It takes 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and your body has booze in it. And the other thing that we, the researchers, came together and spoke about last week is the empirical evidence. Overwhelming tidal waves of research that has just been reported in the last 12 months. That even I, an advocate against sugar for 35 years, was not aware of. We took people off all forms of sugar, including fruit, carrot juice, beet juice, period, when they had cancer, then eventually every other disease. But now we know, for instance, things we did not know. We know that the average cancer cell has 70 more receptor sites for sugar uptake than a healthy cell. So 70 times, or 70 more than a normal cell. So do you think that means it can eat sugar a lot better? You have certain kinds of cancer, like melanoma, you're really in trouble. Because melanomas now are measuring it at 200 times more. And what this taught us in the last 4 months is that why melanoma grows so radically, rapidly, consistently is because it's getting more what? Interesting, isn't it? And so we're going to take a little voyage here and talk about what you're seeing there on the screen. In the 42 years I've worked with thousands and thousands, 150, 200,000 people with cancer as an example alone, doctors tell these people when they come to Hippocrates and say, I'm going to Hippocrates to strengthen my immune system. The allopathic doctor says, the immune system has nothing to do with cancer. Now, can you imagine this? And it's not because these are foolish people. This is what they're being taught at medical schools, at Trinity Medical School, at Oxford, at Harvard. They're being taught this absolute insanity. And on that screen, 45 years ago, they took this picture in Stockholm, Sweden. Every person who recovers from any disease, be it arthritis, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, it's your immune system that does it. There is nobody who heals you. You heal yourself by strengthening your immune system. And again, you were actually given an extraordinary body that could do anything that you require it to do, providing you support it, love it, honor it, rest it, feed it, nourish it, hydrate it. And have you done all of the above? I know when I was a big fat American, I had done none of the above. The only thing I stuck down my throat were cigarettes and smoke from marijuana. And the reality is, your body cannot sustain on that kind of stupidity. It says, what are you doing to me? Every single day, you're actually giving a message to those cells in that immune system, I don't like you. I don't like you. And eventually they get the message, okay, I'm going to die then. I'm not going to waste another minute with this character who's going to do all these crazy things. Traditional success. Today's knowledge of traditional medicine and healthcare is at its highest point ever. We need to merge historic knowledge with transparent modern science. So Dr. Anna Marie and I have taken the mission in our life to marry the best of modern science and the best of traditional medicine. Traditional medicine is not mainstream medicine, by the way. The medicine that we talk about has been going on from the beginning of the dawn of man. That it has thousands of years of empirical evidence, not 100